Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kuli. So today we'll be making a waistcoat with a, I don't know what to call it. Is it a four collar or a roll up collar? So but I'll be attaching a collar to the neckline of the waistcoat. So if this is what you would like to learn, please make sure to stay tuned, like and share, and please support by engaging. So we are going to be starting by taking your our shoulder measurements. I'm making this for myself. My shoulder measurement is 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. Then I went down by 1.5 inches for the shoulder slope. The neck width that I use here is 3.5 inches, so I connected the shoulder slope to that 3.5 inches. So the next thing now is to take your vertical measurement. So there, for that point I placed to get my bust point, which is 11. I got my waist location, which is 16, and my foot top length I later ended up using 22, but I marked 23. So you can use between 23 to 24. So the next thing, from that 1.5 inches that I came down with, you now take your chest line. My chest line is 8 inches, so I place my tape to get my chest line. So once you are done getting that, you are going to connect the lines. You connect all those lines that you marked. So I'm using pen just for just to get a neat finishing. I'm later going to outline the lines to make it border with marker. So for now I'm using pen to get the lines, but I'm going to label it for you guys to not to confuse the lines. So that is my chest line, bust point, waist and full length. So that is just what you need for that. So I'll bring down my shoulder line just to get a straight line there. Then I'll get my armhole line. So that is just it. So the next thing to do is that place that your 1.5 inches stopped, you are going to come in by 1.5 inches on that shoulder line. You come in by 1.5 inches, you get the middle of your armhole, and also come in by 1.5 inches instead of half inch like we normally do. So that shoulder line, you come in by 1.5 inches. The middle of your armhole, you come in by 1.5 inches. So you are going to take your bust measurement. So on this your chest line, you come down by half inch or 1 inch. I use half inch. I'm not using the exact chest line. I came down by half inch. So I'll connect that 1.5 inches line to that half inches line. That will now serve as our new chest line, instead of using that, because this is a blazer that we are a jacket that doesn't have sleeve is what we are making. So the next thing is to take your round waist measurement. My round waist is 32 divided by 4 is 8 inches. Then you take your hip measurement on your full length, that is on your top full length. So that is it. The next thing is to add your allowance. I added 1.5 inches allowance. You can add up to 2 inches allowance. My fabric is a bit stretchy, so I added 1.5 inches allowance to that. So you just connect the line. So the next thing, so I'm now going to use my marker to outline the lines very well, so that it will be very obvious for you to see. Remember, on the shoulder line, I went in by 1.5. The middle of the armhole, I went in by 1.5. Then the chest line, I went down by half inch instead of using my exact chest line. So I made a mistake as I was cutting this. I didn't remember to bring out the buttonhole stand, because the front part is going to have button. So I'll just get a paper and attach a buttonhole stand. Just please, before you start folding, just bring out 1.5 inches for your buttonhole stand. So I'm just going to cut another paper, then gum it and use it as the buttonhole stand. I'm so sorry, I really forgot. So that was the mistake, but it's nothing, because your measurement is still the same thing. Just get your buttonhole stand before you start folding your fabric, and make sure that you bring out your buttonhole stand. So once you are done bringing out the buttonhole stand and marking all your lines, the next thing to do is to get the neckline for the front. I used 10 inches for the depth, for the front depth. The back is 1.5 inches. I really wanted it to be like the front, that's why I used up to 10 inches. So you just connect it this way. Remember that the width is 3.5, front depth is 10 inches or 9 inches, then the back is 1.5 inches. So that is the place that my this thing stopped. That is the place that I notched or marked out very well, is where my neckline stopped, but the back is 1.5 inches. So after that, you come to the center front, you go up by 2 inches. I went up by 2 inches. So you on the full length, you also go out by 2 inches, then connect it in a triangular form the way I just did. Please, you are not taking the 2 inches from that buttonhole stand, you are taking it from your side line. So on the side seam line, you are going to go up by 1.5, then you just connect it this way. Just connect it the way that I'm connecting. We are yet to add our dart for this. I'm still going to add our dart. So that front, I decided to just curve it a little. Then the side, I also decided to curve it a little. I went up by 1.5 just to give it that shape. So the next thing is to take your nipple to nipple measurement. Please, you are not taking it directly from that button stand, you are taking it from the center line. So I did my nipple to nipple is 8 divided by 2 is 4. I just marked 4. Don't add any allowance. So on the waistline, I went up by ½ inch and I went in by ½ inch. I connected it to the bust point and also to the full length. Just stop 1 inch before the full length. So that is just it. This is what you need, because I don't have enough fabric. I decided to separate it. But if you're making this jacket, please just make it like this. Don't follow the one that I'm doing, because I don't have enough fabric. That's why I had to like make it like a princess dart. But if you wish to make it like a princess dart, just under your armhole, midpoint of your armhole, you just connect it. Go up by ½ inch, come down by ½ inch. That is just it. So the back neck depth is just 1.5 inches. So this is the way I'm going to cut it. Once you have it, you are going to cut it this way. So the back, you are just going to, I'm just going to use it to cut the back, but I'll just fold in the button stand. That is the only thing that you are going to fold in. Watch the way I'm going to cut the back. I'll fold in the button stand, then get the side seam curve, but I'm not getting the center front curve. The back is not going to have any curve. The fabric that I'm using for this is a bit stretchy and it's not up to 1 yard, but if you're making this, just have up to 1 yard. I'm just making it for the tutorial. So but it came out really nice, so I'm going to be wearing it. So I'll fold it. So I folded in the button hole stand. So the next thing is you're going to cut it. The side seam curve will be there, but please just don't get the center front curve. So I'll just cut the back neckline, the armhole, and every other thing is just the same. So if you're cutting this, you can add half inch to the side seam, but I don't have enough fabric, so I just added ½ inch to the waist and also to the hip part. So I added half inch to the waist and also to the hip part. So this is the way I'm going to cut the down part. So I just traced the curve, then every other thing went straight. I didn't trace the center curve, it's just the side seam curve. So this is how it looks. This is how the back is going to look. So the next thing is just to draft out the that. So I'll open up the front. Like I said, you just need exactly this for the front. Just cut the neckline and place exactly what you have here on your fabric to just cut it. But I went ahead to separate it, being the reason being that I don't have enough fabric. But if you have up to 1 yard of fabric, there's no point separating this. just mark out your dart straight, but I separated it for me to be able to like manage the fabric that I have. But it will still give you the same result, but the best thing is not to separate it like a princess dart. So I'll place this on my fabric, cut it, I'll add half inch to the center line, to the dart line, and also to the other point, and that is just what we have. You cut exactly the same lining, the lining that is equal, and just exactly the same lining with the back and also to the front. Here I've gone ahead to cut the liner and I've darted it, I've joined the darts and all that, just to make it quick. So the next thing is for you to trace the back dart. So on the shoulder line, I went down by 10 inches. That is where my that is going to stop. Then I got 16 inches. That is the waist location. Sorry that I'm using pen. So I'll connect. The next thing is to take your nipple to nipple on your waist, tie your hip, and where your that is starting from, that is the 10 inches. So once you get it, you just connect it with your ruler. So on the waistline, you go out by half inch and also come in by half inch. Connect it to that 10 inches and also to that your full length. Remember that you on your full length line, you stop 1 inch before the full length line. So this is how your dart is going to look for the back. You also transfer it to the other side of the back. So once you are done doing anything you want to join, the next thing is to join the dart. Remember that you'll be joining the lining separately and the your fabric separately. So here is where our dart is starting from, not here. Remember that we came down by 2.5 inches. So I'll place it. So I'm done joining the darts, the both darts, and I've gone ahead to hold the back dart. The next thing is to join the shoulders together. Join lining separately. Join the your fabric, that's your coat separately. So you are going to join the lining separately and your coat separately. So that is just what I did here. This is what I have after joining it. This is just the um jacket. So this is the pocket. I attached a false weft pocket. Sorry, is it weft or wet pocket, something like that? So this is what I did with the pocket. So you, from your shoulder line, you measure 16 inches. 16 inches is your waistline, so that's the line on my dart line. That is where I'm measuring it. So you are going to cut a strap that is this folded, is 5.5 inches wide and 2.5 inches long. The length is 2.5 inches. So you just fold it into two and close the side. Don't close the part that you are going to be joining to this thing. So this is this. I've gone ahead to close it out and give it a good press and fold it into two to get the midpoint. So once you have the midpoint, you are going to get your jacket. That's 16 inches that you marked on your dart line. You are going to place that notch between that your dart line. So you just stitch it. So once you stitch it, you flip it and just stop stitch on it. So that is the pocket that I use. It just very easy. Instead of creating a pocket, it's just a false pocket that I use. So this is how it looks. Just stop stitch on it and we are good to go. So the next thing after that now is to join your lining. You are going to place your lining. You are going to turn the down part, then top stitch it. Make sure that all the lines, all the dart lines matches very well. So after closing the down part, we are going to close. You are not closing the upper part, the neckline part. No, you just close the down part and the other side. Close your armhole. Close the armhole because of course we are not going to be attaching any sleeve to that. So I've gone ahead to close all the parts. I didn't close the neckline, the back neckline and the V neckline. So this is what I have. I'll give it a good press. Like I said, I'm using chiffon as my lining, so it's not relaxing very well. So I've gone ahead to attach it also to hold the neckline and the lining in place. So this is what we have. The next thing to do is to cut the collar. So I'm going to measure the neckline. I'm starting from the point, the V, the where the V stopped to the other point that is stopped. So the total I have there is 32 inches. the total neckline is 32 inches plus 1 inch, that is 33 inches. So I'm going to get my pattern paper. So I'm going to divide the 33 by 2. Whatever you have, my paper is on full. Whatever you have, you mark it. The length of the collar is, the length of that I use is 5 inches, so I'm marking the length of the collar 5 inches. So I'll just mark it and connect it. Remember that so after that I'll come in by 1 inch, then connect it slantly just to get that slant part. So you come in by 1 inches, then slant your ruler just to get that slant part. So this is what I have. So I checked what I extended there is up to 1 inch. So it's just the simple, the way to, this is the way to cut the collar, is just simple. So the collar length is 5 inches. You can make it to be, if you want yours to be bold enough, you can just make it up to 6 inches or 7 inches. So once you have it like this, you are going to cut it out. So this is it. This is how it's going to look. You just notch the center part. You don't have to start covering anything, just a straight collar. The collar is just straight. So when you open it, you have a total of 32 inches. So you are going to cut it on your fabric as exactly what you have there. I'm going to cut it. I don't have enough fabric, so I went ahead to cut it on my fabric. Then I used the white line. If you have enough fabric, you don't need another color for the lining. So you're cutting two pieces with your fabric instead of lining it with another color. So just use the same fabric. So it's the longer part that we are going to close, and the sides. So we are not closing the shorter part. So I'm done joining it, I'm done stitching it, and this is what I have. So this is the sharp edge. You are going to cut it so that you are going to trim off the sharp edge, then notch it. So once you are done notching it, you are going to pull it out this way. So use your scissors and pull out the sharp edge very well. So I'll do the same thing, then give it a good press. You iron it out very well. So I'll just do that. I'll show you guys the next thing, and we are done. I had to give it a good press. I also top stitch on the lining, but you can also top stitch around if you want, but I don't want to top stitch it around. You can just top stitch it around. I don't want to do that. So the next thing is to attach it on the jacket. So you get your jacket, fold it and get the midpoint. I'm going to fold the shoulder to shoulder to get the midpoint. And make sure that the neckline, the front neckline aligns very well too. So once it aligns, I'll get the center neckline, the back neckline, the back center neckline or what, and notch it. Just notch it a little. So I'm going to, because I want this part. So the lining is going to be down. So the lining is going to face the right side of the back. So just this way. This is the lining. I'll place it this way. The notch, the center back neckline. You can join this. You can join it this way. Okay. You can make it easy if you don't want to cover it. If you don't want a neat finishing, or you want to overlock it when you are done, you can just get the neckline, the center point. That is the middle point of the collar and the middle point of the neckline. So the right side of the collar is facing the wrong side. That is the back. The right side of the collar fabric is facing the lining. So look at it, it's facing the lining. I'm holding the collar and the right fabric and the lining together. So it's facing this way. So you're going to stitch it. You're going to stitch it this way. So once you're done with that, you're going to overlock it. So once you're done overlocking it, you flip it like this and it will look like this. The inner part will look like this. Then the collar will cover the rough part. So that's how I'm going to cover it. So once you're done joining the neckline, just overlock it and we are done. Or you can just do it the normal way you do your shirt collar. It's still the same thing. Thank you guys for watching.